Hi Aries, welcome to your solar eclipse recap and a look at mid-October and into Scorpio season. Your lunar eclipse, which is on the 28th of October, will be covered in the extended. So first, let's do a recap of the solar eclipse and just talk about this moment of new beginnings. The solar eclipse was a few days ago, and for you, it's marked by wrapping up something complicated or beginning something that's quite complicated. Only you know what side of that you're on. But regardless, it has to do with change. Change is here. For Aries rising, this is a series of planets that are moving Mars, Mercury, the Sun from your 7th house into your 8th house. So what does that mean for you? It means that we're doing some serious merging of talents, merging of souls, merging of friendships, merging of families. There's a lot of logistical stuff here that needs to be talked about. So if you find yourself going on and on to people about what's not working, don't stop. Don't feel like you're being annoying. Don't be that person who's like, no, I'm not going to say it again because I already said it so many times. Keep saying it until they hear it, because what is not logistically working is not working. And for some reason, you are the only one who's smart enough to see it and call it out. So be the smart one in the group and say what needs to be said. Now, this opportunity for a new beginning or a complicated new beginning, whatever, what have you, it's very real. This is something deep. Usually things that are pretty deep are complicated. So if you find yourself falling for someone right now and you're like, why is this happening so quickly? This is unlike me. That's what it is. Enjoy it. Let it happen. If you feel that this person or the person you would like to attract into your life is not really, you know, they don't live up to the bar that you've set, they don't live up to your standards, then that is something that, you know, is part of the challenge that comes with this new beginning. You've got to name and state responsibilities. You know, it's no longer time to slip under the door of codependency. If people aren't going to carry their weight, then they can't be in your life. But first you need to tell them how to carry the weight and where. And that's the part about codependency. It's like you don't want to do that. You just want the person to always feel okay, and you're able to adjust yourself however you need to, as long as they're feeling good. But that's right now, you need to get to work. You don't have time to play around and do all that. You need to have everyone know their role and what they need to do in your life, in the household, responsibilities, kids, driving, you know, kids to school, who's picking up what, who's bringing what, all of that. It needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be addressed. For a lot of you, that's the elephant in the room. Talk about responsibilities. Why would we talk about responsibilities? Aries, you are responsible for everything. You're handling everything. So why do you want to talk to us about it? Because you need a fucking break. And so you need people to be up to speed on their own life for things that you don't want to handle, because change is here for you on a personal level. So you don't have time to handle everybody's life anymore. You don't have the space. You actually have something real and wonderful and intense and deep coming in for you relationship-wise. Why would you want to take time away from that to deal with things that people are adult enough to be dealing with on their own? And that is the real elephant in the room, is why have I been babying people who are more than capable of taking care of their own lives? Now, something happens later in October that shows you the character of the person you're either interested in, involved with, or would like to be involved with. They come through with shining colors. They either show you that they're super solid, or they show you that they are, oh, I love how tarot works, or they show you how full of shit they are. Let them. Let the crisis happen. Don't try to stop it. It will happen quickly, and it's only happening to expose this person for who they are. And then you have to love yourself enough and remember your standards enough and your caliber enough to say, no, I don't want to do that. because you won't want to. If that person is not there for you during a crisis, do not engage with them anymore. That's it. Base how you're going to be with this person off of how they handle you in this crisis that happens. It's not that deep, but it will be very revelatory of their character, okay? And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, Justice, okay? Let's talk about work and career. It's a great time, this Libra energy with how you're feeling anyway, and then the Libra is the South Node. This is the time for you to use your words to get whatever you want. This is such a charming, compelling combination. You can talk your way into success, or you can think your way into financial failure. If you keep your brain shut off and you just do the talking, you can get to all the positions you want to get to. You can get the job you want. You can get into the rooms you want. You can get that 5 minutes with whomever you're looking for it with. But if you get into your head and start looping, then those same possibilities and opportunities turn into these FOMO experiences where you're like, oh my God, I got so close. I can't believe I messed that up. So you want to be prepped and psychologically ready for these opportunities to show up at any time. And you're just like, yeah, I can do that. Yep, I'm on top of that. No anxiety, no hesitation. Focus under pressure. That's what you need to do. You need to focus under pressure. Don't challenge people. Nobody's helping you anyway. Why challenge people when you have to do it alone? When your success, especially at work, happens from your sole effort, why would you challenge people? They're already not helping. Don't make enemies out of them. Just leave them alone. They're inconsequential. They're not here for you. So what does it matter what they're doing? Just let them do it. No, they're causing disruption. No, they're doing it. You're there for the bag. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, fuck it. Who cares? Let them do whatever they're doing. It's none of your business. You're not here to play hen mother to all of them. Just don't challenge them. Authority is looking for a reason to make an example out of you and to take this money away from you. So just don't do it. Even if authority gets in your face, whether it's a boss, a cop, a parent, a teacher, just act like it's not happening. Do not give it any air whatsoever. Trust me, that will make so much sense in a couple of weeks. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Now, it's also a great time to clear up some legal bills. You have the wherewithal and the resources to catch up on anything that is court ordered or has to do with taxes, has to do with the government. You can easily get on top of it, easily get a deal, easily get a bunch of it cut down. So use all the resources, call all the people, do what you can when it comes to those bills, because you can get them pretty much taken care of in the next 3 weeks, which is, right now you're like, no, how's that possible? Start telling yourself every day, my debts are all paid. My debts are all paid. Now, we have the Page of Wands and we have the Lovers here. Okay, so now we're gonna start talking about the lunar eclipse. Maybe just, let me go to my second page of notes. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the lunar eclipse, but before we do, let's talk about how the past can come back and cause you some insomnia, some anxiety, how this particular energy, whether it's a Gemini or not, their words are still out there working on you. And you've got to figure out if those are words that you want to hold on to because they boost you, are those words you want to forget because they cut you down and make you feel the least like yourself. This Gemini, very much Aries right now is either or, right? It's either you're at the beginning of something pretty tumultuous or you're ending something pretty tumultuous. So everything in the reading is like you're either extreme on this end or extreme on the spectrum is at the extremes right now, okay? So you have the opportunity to use what this person has said to you. It could be a friend, it could be a romantic interest, it could be anybody, really. It could be a stranger on the internet. But what they've said to you either bolsters you as an Aries and you decide to hold on to it, or it cuts you at the knees as an Aries and you decide to hold on to it. Here's the thing. This confusion that you're feeling, this either or, and you don't know what to choose, this is not going to go away at all until you decide for real, what version of the realities that you're dreaming up you actually want to live in. Because your ability to imagine, your ability to emote, your ability to get yourself into the feeling and actually make things manifest is extremely powerful. But only when you actually make a choice, and you're not the type that can make a choice just based on what's logical, based on what's smart, based on what's practical. You make choices based on your feelings. But if you have cut yourself off from your feelings, if you are either taking a break or you got too hurt to tap into your feelings, you really are walking around not knowing at all what you want. And maybe it's been months, maybe it's been years, right? So this lunar eclipse that we're about to talk about in the extended, this lunar eclipse, it shows you so many different sides of your excess, especially that you're like, now that I understand myself so much better, whether I like it or not, I can actually tell you what I want. And it's a real feeling in me. It's a real yearning. This is a visceral response I'm having, and no longer something I'm trying to talk myself into or trying to make you believe, or this is really where I'm coming from. It's efficient, it's direct, it's the way you are. Okay, so those are the things. So in the extended, we will go exclusively in on the lunar eclipse, your mental and physical shape at the end of the month. We're going to have a little talk, and we're going to talk about what this lunar eclipse means for you, considering that for Aries rising, it's in your second house, and how it affects money, work. You know, Aries sun, it affects your money and work as well. So we'll talk about that in the extended. That extended is available on Vimeo. It's available on Patreon as a subscription, or you can just buy it as a one-of product. Both of those options are available. Those options are both listed below, as well as a link if you would like to get a private reading from me. If you like this shirt, it is in the merch shop. If you don't know what Meet Me at the Fountain means, I suggest you check out my podcast. It's called Revolution Ramblings. I love you. Preview for the extended here now. Extended. Okay, the lunar eclipse is on the 28th, and I'm fucking loving this new way of doing extendeds. Now it's time to pull back. It's time to pull back on everything, and we need to reassess some stuff. But first of all, you need to pull back on expenses. And you know what? We have to talk about something kind of sticky. We need to talk about how the way you spend money has to do with how much you value or devalue yourself. Girl, that internal conflict is hard on the pocketbook. It's hard on the credit card. Okay? Who has a pocketbook anymore? Nobody has a pocketbook. Okay. Your value as a person is what is behind the way you treat and spend money. That becomes so clear to you on the 28th that it's painful. But then it's illuminating, because then you're like, oh, wait a minute. This makes total fucking sense. If I felt like amazing about myself, I would be able to attract enormous amounts of money. If I didn't have these dips where I start to feel insecure and I start to feel lacking and I start to feel less than, and I don't feel good about myself anymore, and I need to restart the whole process and start from zero again. I don't need to do that.